In early December 1952, London was gripped by an unusually severe cold spell that forced residents to burn even more coal than usual to keep their homes and workplaces warm. For decades, the city's air had been thick with smoke from thousands of coal-burning chimneys, both in private homes and in factories and power plants. However, this winter was unlike any other. A weather phenomenon called a temperature inversion created a layer of warmer air above the city, effectively trapping the cold, polluted air near the ground and preventing it from rising and dispersing as it normally would. This atmospheric lid caused a dense, choking smog to settle over London, a toxic mixture of smoke, soot, sulfur dioxide, and other harmful gases emitted by burning coal. Unlike the typical fog London was known for, this smog had a yellowish-brown hue and was so thick that it blocked out sunlight, turning the middle of the day into a gloomy twilight. The air became heavy and suffocating, clinging to everything it touched. People, buildings, streets, and even penetrating indoors, creating a suffocating and hazardous environment unlike anything Londoners had experienced before. This deadly fog would soon test the limits of the city's resilience and expose the dangerous consequences of unchecked industrial pollution. As the smog thickened over the following days, visibility in London dropped to just a few meters, creating a surreal and eerie atmosphere. Street lamps were switched on during daylight hours, traffic slowed to a crawl, and many travelers gave up entirely on navigating the city streets. Public transportation was severely disrupted. Buses stopped running, and ships on the River Thames struggled to navigate the thick haze. Inside homes, schools, and workplaces, the smog infiltrated every space, making breathing a difficult and painful task for all. People reported burning and watering eyes, persistent coughing, and difficulty catching their breath. Hospitals and clinics quickly became overwhelmed with patients suffering severe respiratory distress, many gasping for air or coughing uncontrollably. Vulnerable groups such as the elderly, young children, and those with pre-existing heart or lung conditions were hit hardest, but even healthy adults were not immune to the smog's effects. Despite the worsening health crisis, many Londoners initially assumed it was just another bout of heavy fog, underestimating the true danger. Authorities were slow to respond, partly because smog was such a regular occurrence in London that its deadliest potential was not fully appreciated until it was too late. The great city found itself trapped in a nightmare of smoke and poison, a disaster unfolding silently and invisibly. The Great Smog hung over London for 5 long, harrowing days from December 5th to December 9th. And the consequences were devastating. Initial government reports estimated around 4,000 deaths. Initially, the extent of the disaster wasn't fully understood, but later more comprehensive research revealed that nearly 12,000 people died prematurely as a direct or indirect result of the toxic air. Many of these fatalities occurred weeks after the smog had lifted. The smog's deadly effects weren't immediate in many cases. People succumbed to heart attacks, pneumonia, bronchitis, and other respiratory illnesses that the pollution had worsened. It's quite shocking, but many deaths were never officially linked to the smog. Doctors and officials often cited other causes on death certificates. This underreporting masked the true scale of the tragedy for some time. Eventually, though, the Great Smog was recognized as one of the deadliest environmental disasters in modern history. It exposed a public health crisis that had been lurking beneath the surface, born from decades of industrial pollution and public complacency. The catastrophe revealed how the very air Londoners depended on was slowly killing them. It sparked a newfound awareness of the dangers posed by pollution and the urgent need to protect the environment for human health. In the aftermath of the disaster, public outrage swept across London and, really, the entire United Kingdom. Newspapers ran gripping stories detailing the horror of the smog and the mounting death toll, while citizens demanded immediate government action to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. This outcry resulted in the introduction of the Clean Air Act of 1956, landmark legislation that changed how pollution was regulated across Britain. The law created smokeless zones in major cities, where the use of smoky fuels like coal was banned or strictly limited. It encouraged the adoption of cleaner fuels such as gas and electricity, and it set the stage for future environmental protection efforts. The Clean Air Act represented one of the first comprehensive attempts to address air pollution as a matter of public health and safety, marking a major shift in government policy. The Great Smog forced policymakers and the public alike to confront the devastating cost of industrial progress when left unchecked. It became a catalyst for environmental reform, inspiring not only British laws, but also influencing air quality legislation worldwide. The tragedy proved that economic growth and industrialization must be balanced with responsible stewardship of the environment and the health of citizens. Following the Great Smog, scientists, doctors, and environmental experts launched extensive studies to understand how air pollution impacts human health. The event provided undeniable evidence linking airborne pollutants to a sharp rise in respiratory illnesses, heart attacks, and premature deaths. This newfound scientific understanding drove the establishment of air quality standards and monitoring systems that continue to play a vital role in protecting public health today. Meteorologists and urban planners also gained important insights into the role that weather conditions, city layout, and geography play in pollution events. They learned how temperature inversions, wind patterns, and physical barriers can trap pollutants and worsen air quality. This knowledge led to improved urban planning and emergency response strategies designed to minimize the effects of future pollution episodes. The Great Smog also highlighted the importance of public awareness and government transparency, emphasizing the need for timely warnings and community engagement in environmental health matters. Its lessons continue to guide environmental policies and scientific research around the world. More than half a century later, the Great Smog of London remains a powerful symbol of the dangers posed by unchecked industrial pollution and environmental neglect. Since 1952, advances in technology, stricter regulations, and cleaner fuel alternatives have dramatically improved London's air quality and reduced smog incidents. However, air pollution remains a critical global health challenge, especially in rapidly industrializing countries experiencing explosive urban growth and rising emissions from vehicles, factories, and power plants. The legacy of the Great Smog serves as a stark reminder that clean air is not a luxury, but a fundamental human right essential to health and well-being. It teaches us that continuous vigilance, innovation, and policy enforcement are necessary to safeguard populations from environmental hazards. The disaster is also a cautionary tale about the unintended consequences of rapid industrial development and the vital need to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability. The story of the Great Smog endures as a call to action for governments, communities, and individuals worldwide to prioritize the planet's health and ensure a safer, cleaner future for generations to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fascinating history.